Hello, welcome to my stream, buddies. Yes, we are gonna check on the new factions, general public and top 10%. Got, I've got the raw data ready. I've started a little bit in. We're checking out some Summoner Wars stats, and yeah, it's good to hang out with you guys. Tortugatron and RWO. Um, yeah, I spent yesterday afternoon um, exporting all the data I think that I would want from the database, and I've got it here in Mac numbers. And yeah, I've got a few. I've got three different documents. One is this is the stats from the May. What is it? May 28th or something like that. I wrote it down. Oh, May 8th episode of Discard for Magic. So this is all just for comparison's sake. And then I've got, well, over here I've got, this is the raw data from the beginning of Summoner Wars Online. So, well, not the beginning, but the start of 2022. So close to the beginning. And all right, hi Nat 20s, yay the data. And then since this is so many games, this is close to 500,000 games, or no, it's over 500,000 games, 577,000 games. We've got. I also have a truncated table. That's just more recent data from the last 2 years. So that, let's check the raw data on that. That is still, I mean, it's over half the game. Half the games ever since 2022. It's not a surprise. More games in 2024 and 2025 than the 2 years before that. 367,000. So, but it should run a little faster when we make a change to a formula, being that it's only like 60-70% of the games. Uh-oh. All right, let me know how the video's working here. I'm seeing it on my screen, okay? All right, thanks for those who for it's working for. Working for me either. Yeah, sorry, I'm not sure. But send me updates. Are the Steelers one and done in the playoffs? The Steelers, it's comforting to be a Steelers fan these last 15 years because they always finish 9-8. They always make the playoffs, and they always lose in the first round. So it's a predictable life. I saw a meme that says, "If you don't love us when we're 9-8, then you don't get us next season when we're 9-8 again." All right. So, oh, you see yourself. Yeah, well, we'll have to run the player stats. I haven't done that yet. Okay, let's start out with looking just 2024 to 2025. Let's take a look here. These are. Oh, you know what? Yeah. So it's really. It's really half. The total number of games is actually half this number. Because this is, every from each faction's perspective. So it's not really, we haven't really hit 500,000 games yet. we've hit about half that. But as you can see, we've got all the new guys. We've got. By the way, can you guys read? Those of you who can see, can you read this, or do I need to zoom in a little? I don't know how easy it would be. Oh, here we go. Zoom in. All right. Can't hurt to zoom in a little bit. Okay. We've got a lot of space we're not really using here, so. All right, so our new people. We've got the Drake Sun Rebellion, who are doing quite well so far in 13,000 games. What is going on here? Something's not right. Oh, yeah, no, not in 13,000 games. In 2,000 games. I was looking at the wrong. In 3,000 games, or really, for each faction, that is accurate. They are doing great. They're actually the top so far. Now, it's very early, so we're not going to jump to any conclusions on the Drake Sun. But, but that is the start. Then we've got the Guild Dwarfs, who are, 56 to 46. So they are much lower. Once again, we're not going to read too much into these. They're kind of both on the far end of what we'd want to see, but, really, who knows? You could see that dragons are a little more popular than dwarves. So that's not too shocking. I think dragons is a pretty engaging concept. So, it's not a shock. The Guild Dwarfs are the classics, so the true OGs like that. Calhoun says Drake Sun will go down. I mean, that makes sense. They're very surprising. Meanwhile, if we just go back to factions here, we've got these guys have also been played a little bit less because they've only been out for less than half the time as the rest of these factions. The Isle Vekid are right at 50%, but the Spectral Conclave doing great, 55%. And so to be clear, these are base deck games. You can. I'm hiding where the base decks only is false over here, so that means if base decks only is false, that's the custom deck games. I'm hiding those. That's all I'm doing though. So these are base deck games, and the export automatically excludes any base deck mirror matches, which could happen in a custom game, in a private match. LK, any fun standout board games? Is fun reading your thoughts about Dune Imperium and whatnot. I don't even remember writing about Dune Imperium. It must have been on the PGG blog. Definitely one of my favorite games. I like the new expansion. I like every possible combination of Dune Imperium and its sorry, some of you guys are missing audio. Obsidian Doors. Any Dune Imperium combination I like, with any combination of stuff. I have the new Magical Athlete, and that's been fun. That's very silly. Definitely recommend checking that out. Okay. You got a question about Obsidian Doors? Thanks for chatting, Igor. Good to see you. Yes, so this is one thing I'm curious about is if we, let's see, the new season. I wrote down some data here, but you know what? It looks like I didn't write down. Uh, I didn't write down what day the new season started. So let me look over on my other screen and get that real quick. Ooh, that's gonna take a minute. Gotta enter a code. Yeah, I think the more surprising thing than anything to me is the Spectral Conclave excelling and that kind of solidifying itself as, you know, they've been out for what, 8.5 months or something now. All right, need to look up season. Okay, so season 7 started on March 27th. Season 8 started on November 18th. Okay, so okay, so I guess it's interesting if we cut this off when this other, if we add a date here and it said start date only since the last time we did stats, which was May 8th on the Discard for Magic. Oh boy. Okay, here we go. Let's do it this way. Oh, come on. Start date. Date. After 2025 05 08. Days ago, come on. What? Come on, numbers. Maybe it'll just work like that. After the date. Here we go. 2025 05 08. Alright, so anytime we do something, it takes a few seconds to go through all the stuff. Okay, so here is just recent data. Let's see if there has been change from May 8th, the last time we looked at stats. Should need this. And let's see. That's not what we want. We want formatted stats. There we go. Here, let's minimize this one. Ah, come on. Half and half. Ish. Okay, and let's sort ascending. Of course. The fact that the header didn't. Okay, but anyway. Okay, we're starting with general stats. So we got breakers are doing a little worse. We got cave goblins are the same. Chosen Grove, yeah. Let's say if it's within 2%, it's not really so different. Breakers are a little over 2% worse. So, but Chosen Grove are close. Cloaks are a little down. It's pretty minor. It's close to 2%. I do have dates for all of the errata changes, so we will look into that. How about Crimson Order? Crimson Order is doing worse since May 8th. Let's see, 52.9 to 55.8, a little less than 3%. That's the biggest difference so far. Groks doing better. I'm going to guess that has to do with their starting setup change, which we will look into. We got Eternal Council is close. Fallen Kingdom is actually doing a little worse. We'll check on each mode. That kind of makes sense because they were kind of missing something for a while. So we'll look at each change, even though it'll be low, data for a while. Fungal Dwarves doing worse. Oof. Not by much, but by a little. High Elves doing a little better. Vekid have gone up slightly since May 8th, but not much. Fargath about the same. Obsidian Dwarves doing better. Doing a good bit better. Phoenix Elves, same. Polar Dwarves are doing about the same. We got Sand Goblins about the same. Savannah Elves doing a little worse. Wow, look at that. The Abua nerf is probably real. We'll look at that. We'll look at that adjustment. Shadow Elves doing a little better. The Fae. Have the Fae improved? They have improved slightly, but they're still high on our list for an adjustment. Sky Spear Avians. They're doing a little better. Huh, interesting. All right, Spectral Conclave, about the same. So they were doing well out the gate, and they still are. Storm Goblins, same. Swamp Orcs, about the same. Filth, 56 to 53. They've lowered a little. Like we mentioned. The Forged, about the same. Tundra Orcs, about the same. Vanguards, about the same. We'll look at when we've implemented changes and if it's had any effect. And Wayfarers are down a little bit. Interesting. All right, so that is our start. Yeah, you know what? I think I will bring up for people jumping in, they'll be curious about some of these mainline stats since 2024. So I'll just keep this in a corner. Let's see, what did we say? Drake Sun, 56.16%. We'll definitely want to increase size of that. Guild Dwarves, 46.06%. This was like our little report. And then, yeah, even though they haven't changed much, let's put in the Ghosts at 51.08%. And who are our Isle Vekid, that's it. No, wait. Okay, I must have read Spectral wrong. Yeah, there we go. 55.92. And Isle Vekid, 51.32%. There we go. All right. The vampire slowly dying. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. This was the filth and the crimson. Not sure what direction we'll go next for updates. All right, so let's put these up in the corner. Let's give ourselves a little room by hiding the dock. Oh, come on. Really? Wow. Mac, not so smart as it used to be. Okay, so pull this down a little bit so that this data can just be on the screen for people who pop in. Okay, now I just want to check real quickly if I stop this for when Season 8 started, which is not very long, it's right at 1 month, if the Spectral Conclave and the Isle Vecid will change. So if we cut this off at 11:17 and give it a second. I mean, I definitely like the blast buff. It seems to do a lot of good for Sarah, so I could definitely see that. They are not far off there, but okay. So, oh yeah, we wanted to see. So obviously Drake's Son and Gildorf's are going to be the same because this is just them now. But how about Spectral Conclave? Whoa, look at that. Now, it's not that many games. It's 500 games. But they're down a little bit. And Isle Vecid, of course, we'll do matchups at some point in this stream, are up a little bit. But yeah, it's not. It's a limited number of games. As you can see, the new factions are very popular when they're released. Once again, Drake's Son is definitely ahead. Okay. 1,100 OT games. Oh, yeah, wow. That's a high number. Are they at the top played this season after the new guys? Wow. Interesting. Have you played a lot, Exile? Okay, that app. I love stuff like that. Like those apps that are going to help my workflow. So I will check that out later. Thanks for the tip. Okay, so one thing we could do is check this against top 10 games. So let's move this back to just get rid of it. Well, no, let's do it since the last stats episode. That actually does make sense. So that's 08. When we did a stats episode with Discard for Magic. Okay, so we're going to go back to there, and then we're going to say top. And that is going to symbolize just games between, actually the top 150 players is how I, the player me. I thought you were talking about yourself, but in a sing-songy way. All right. Now, when I glanced at this earlier, it didn't seem that different. But let's just take a look. So Drake's Son is about this. I mean, that's actually really close. Yeah, it's within like 0.2. And Gildorf's are a little better. So that is interesting to watch so far. How about the other two newish guys? Isle Vecid are about the same. Spectral Conclave are a little bit decent weaker, 2%. Now, some of these are very low, under 100 games with Savannah Elves, for example. But, so you do have to caution with that. But, what if we look at what the biggest difference was for the top 10. Fallen Kingdom, well, that's going to be tricky. They were much better, and Obsidian Dwarves were much better with the top 10. They were 50% here, and we are looking at 49% win percentage for the top 10 since then. So yeah, still pretty solid. And Fallen Kingdom was 52. Once again, we're going to have to do a deep dive on Fallen Kingdom. Why don't we do some of that right now? Let's look at some dates. So Let's go through the major dates here and take a look. And because this is going to be fewer games, and because we're not seeing a ton of evidence of a difference right now, let's get rid of this top 150 players for now. Because the numbers are going to be a little too small for that, I think. All right, so May 8th, we did a stats episode on Discard for Magic. We talked about possibly, doing more updates. And on June 16th, we did a lot of stuff. So let's see. So let's do this. Let's say date is before the date. Let's get our baseline and put in what did I just say? June 16th we did a change. So 16. All right, so this is going to be our baseline for some stuff. So since 2024, we have Savannah Elves, but before we did that change, now this does include tournament games. Maybe I should exclude them just to be as accurate as we can. Tournament tag. Only blank. Come on. Unfortunately, there's so many values. Text is nothing. See if that does anything. Nope, I don't think it considers it. All right, let's say this. Every tournament tag has a period in it somewhere, so we'll just do that. Okay. So the baseline, Savannah Elves, we're at 48%. Does that jive with over here? Yeah. But look at that. They were so much higher with top 10%. Oh, right. Interesting. And just to double check myself, let's check that that's still the case. Only top games. Just to look for a second. I'm not going to keep it. Calculating. Okay. I've got 53%, so that difference there is there's a month of data, and we're excluding tournament games. Although the tournament games play, maybe we should keep them? Nah, we shouldn't. The tournament games obviously include a lot of top 150 players, so oh yeah, and then it is a slightly different set of players. Okay, anyway. So, before June 16th, we've got Savannah Elves, 48. We're going to have some Deepwood Groaks, who were at 56. Oof. Now, that includes some games. I'm not sure what date we did the first Groak change. That involves some games with the original Hecatea and then the one who's more restricted on timing. All right, sounds like changing your VPN if it appears that you're outside the U.S. That's a problem. So whether you're outside the U.S. and you need to change it to the U.S. or you're in the U.S., spoofing outside the U.S., be in the U.S. I guess and it works. Okay, so this Deepwood Groaks, some games pre-timing. I don't know how else to say it. So I don't have the date written down when we did that. I might. Yeah, it's not gonna be easy to look that up live. Okay, we're gonna look at some Fallen Kingdom. So they were at 49.22%. And let's see who else is gonna have a change lined up here. Oh yeah, Vanguards. And that is 46.89%. All right, so then June 16th, we did a few updates. I believe, yeah, okay, so let's say, so from June 16th through August 18th, here's what we did. We had the Savannah Elves change a lot, starting setup and Abua strength. Let's just check that first. Okay, so let's just say date is after. All right. Interesting how... Oh, wait, it's calculating. Yeah, let's do this one faction at a time, actually. So the Savannah Elves were at 48, 53%. It was more like close to 54%, top 150 players. And now, after June 16th, 46%, and let's check the top, since that seems to be a big factor for this one, since it's a big difference, and see if it's still the same difference. Calculating. Whoa, what? Okay, it's only 58 games. Or it's not 58 games, it's 140 games. Here, we can extend this a little more. The 8% top 150 in 140 games. Okay. So that's Savannah Elves. That's interesting. We are finalizing, submitting files. No question we want to do the starting setup update, but I wonder if we need that strength nerf. Let me know your thoughts on there about Abua and if you like the strength nerf. Okay, let's go to Fallen Kingdom next. So Fallen Kingdom, we actually didn't do a change until August 18th. So let's actually start with before August 18th. Before the date. Okay, so 08 2025, and we don't need this because I know that they're pretty close. Yeah, sure. Yeah, the five range is big, no matter who it's on, no matter what elf summoner it's on. So Lundar or Savannah Elves. Okay, so forget this. This number isn't. Let's check it. So before August 18th, Fallen Kingdom, we're at 48.9%. I know I'm being more exact all of a sudden. All right. And then we want to go. Then we did a change, which was the weird. We'll just call it the weird blood summon. It was like everything costs 2 less. After you summon, deal 2 damage to a friendly unit. Yeah, so that was weird. It wasn't beloved. So let's change this. That lasted until 11/18. And then we'll want to put an after filter. We don't really need this because there weren't any tournaments in this range, so it won't make a difference. One less thing to run. Okay, date is your start date. Oh, you know what? I could have just done between. Oh, come on. Start date. In the range. There we go. All right. So we want to see games from 08, 18, 2025 until 11, 17, 2025. All right, so this is good old American date format. Okay, so with weird weird blood summon, there's a similar number, 48.8%. So we can pull this down so all the data keeps showing. August 18th to, and let's do this. Fallen Kingdom. Before August 18th, we're there. August 18th and November 17th. Where are we at? Oh, wait, no, wow, I misread it. Okay, that was not successful. Yikes. I never checked the stats because we knew we were going to change it because people disliked it so much, but okay. Not too small of a number, almost 1,000 games. Okay, now, for a month, we've had what we currently have, which is a blood summon that's very close to the original, but cleans up some problematic cases in base deck and custom deck building. Nerfs the card overall because you can't arbitrarily destroy units to pump up your warriors, your undead warriors, and tricks like that. And it also puts just a limit on the number of times you could do it. However, plus 2 life to ret and an improved gold ass. So November 18th, just since November 18th, really. Okay, so 11/18. That's gonna be 0 games right now. Ay. All right. No. 26. Okay. Let's see what the magic number is. Calculating. Whoa. Similar number of games, and they are certainly fixed. Oh man, interesting. Interesting. All right. Well, here's these stats. We'll have to consider this. Definitely helped. Let's see. I wonder how many games it is with top 150. It's probably not very many. Definitely helped. Tell you what, that extra life, it's a big deal. It's a whole extra dude. Okay, well, that's only 100 games, so it's not much to go off of there. Although that is a very high number. Is that the highest number in just the past month? It is. Wow. That is a sign that maybe we should make a last second adjustment of like minus one life. Good, keep put them at 13. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts there too. Um, okay, so that's Fallen Kingdom. Let's do these last two. Let's start with the Vanguards because I might want to look at the Groks so we can get numbers on each. I might want to look up that date. All right, so the Vanguards. This is over. All right, this is before June 16th, but there wasn't a change to the Vanguards until August 18th, so this number isn't helpful. We're going to go before August 18th. Okay, what do we got now? Right now we got since November 18th. This is the same set of dates that we're going to need. So we've got the final number first in this case. Oh, well, this is a low sample size. Let's get rid of that. So currently, with the new Jacob and the new Mass Heal, 49%. That is beautiful. 49.4%. Before that, and that is in what? 400 games, so a lot less, but before that, if we go 08, 18, to November 17th. Rotating free factions, yes, I've still been lazy. I need to make a task to do it automatically, as suggested. Okay, in that time, in 1,000 games, Vanguards did 47%. So a little worse, which makes sense. And that's a pretty decent sample size. And then if we just look at 08, 17, just the games before, what do we get? Drum roll, please. Taking a while. $46.8. All right, so pretty solid incremental improvement. Of course, one reason we want to change the Vanguards is because of how crazy bad they really changed for the worse with top games. With top players, top 150. So let's see. They are. Whew. 41% before that. And if we look at all the games total, it'll still be kind of a small sample size. Then we'll get some idea. We'll look at the total number of games, but so for top 150 players since the mass heal change, they're about the same. It's fewer games, but they're about the same. Interesting. 41%. I'm guessing that's not only 200 games. Yeah. So let's note small sample size on that. All right. So how about the Groks? Well, the first question is, when did the Groks change in the first place? In order to find that out, let's do let's just Deepwood Groks update card. We're not even gonna look at AI. Okay, this is not this. That's just the page. Okay, you know what I might need to do is look at. Is the page gonna have revision history? I don't think so. I think what we need to look at is our. This is gonna take a while though. Oh my. What if May 1st? See, I don't even have any idea, like, around when it was. Maybe image updates. Certainly we need to go find... No! Certainly we need to go find... when they were launched. Oof. You know what's going to be a little bit simpler is if we look at just the server files. Okay, Black Sun Rebellion, playtest launch. Alright, as you can see, I've always have very helpful rules updates. What is that? See, we're going to want to look at ability text. That's just a typo. Ability text. Nope. Doesn't look like it was changing when we launched those. Rules update. Ability text. Oh boy. Getting rid of digital text. Ooh. Atone. No. Attend. Footwork. These just look like fixing wordings to make them match. Man, it's funny that I just really can't remember how long it's been the way it is. Okay, see, this says Deepwood Groks for public. January 10th, 2024. And that has... Where are we at? So... here we go. Arcane Brew. Once per turn, this unit may target a friendly unit. So that's the original. So somewhere, ability text changed. It's clearly going to be a good bit after January 4th. Yeah. Let's say, let's just check here. Open selected version. Arcane Brew. Once per turn during your turn, okay. So it's still like that then when the Storm Goblins in the Shimmer Sea Fae launched. Alright. What is this? Alright, some kind of unleash fix. Ready to launch. Okay, let's look for ability text. Okay, let's check here. Open selected version. So for anybody who doesn't know, hi Lil Nips. Look down, Joe. What? Oh, 11:15 was my blog about it. Okay, thank you. Yeah, so while we're there, Arcane. Yeah, that's still doing the turn. So yeah, you're saying 11:15. So Summoner Wars 252. And yep, you can see it right there. Okay, so 11:15. Wonderful. All right. So if we go back to numbers. So first thing we want to check is pre 11:15 what, 2024? Yeah. Great. So let's make this is going to be like an arbitrary long ago date. Yeah, good find. And 11:15 is when we launched it, so let's go through 11:14. Of course, it's just the start day, so it's never a perfect date. It's going to be messy, but... All right. Oh, 2024. So if anybody doesn't know what this is called version control. So if you're coding at all, you should be using it to track every single change you make. I didn't start doing it until like 2015. Okay, so we're looking at Deepwood Groaks. They were at 57, 58%. That's a high number. 58.0%. Okay, there we go. Before November 15th, 2024. All right, then we want to look at 11/15/2024 through when we did the starting setup, which I do have that written down, which is June 16th. 06/6/15/2025. All right, so that's going to be a nice spread of data. What was that? That was calculating. Okay, so they went down to 48.6. To June 15th, 2025. It's not the most games, but Oh wait, look. Oh, that must have been incomplete. Yeah, they went to. They're still above 51.4. Interesting. And then if we go to 6:16. And time sure does fly. Oh. This needs to be 2025. Okay, and set it in the future. A lot of game. Whoop. Back up to 55. Okay, this is making me doubt everything. It is lower than 58. June 16th, 2025. And, oh, wait. Okay, that was incomplete. Okay, 51.17. Okay. I keep looking while it's still calculating. Okay, so overall, that felt good. Nixon here saying, yeah, I mean, some of it is the reasoning in the field. Like, Fallen Kingdom for sure needed a change, even though they were not far, they were okay. But because of the NPEs versus new players or players who just didn't know about the corner cases and in deck building, we needed to change, right? So sometimes it's like if the Groke's starting setup felt bad, we don't have evidence here that changing it helps them, but if people like this feel better, that's great. And it doesn't need, this data is not conclusive. It's a very good data point, but it's not everything. Okay, so overall, if we look at these four, Deepwood Grokes, big thumbs up. Vanguards, I think, big thumbs up. This is a little concerning, but it's a small sample size. It certainly has boosted them otherwise. And Fallen Kingdom definitely helped. Is it helping too much? Before we hit the print button on these guys, should we set Rhett to 13 life or something? I don't know. I'll have to talk about it with Nick and Colby and make a final decision. And then yeah, I think Savannah. I think Abua is okay to go down to 4 strength. We continue to see. I mean, this is a very small sample size, but it's not just for in his case. It was never just the general public games because he has the biggest difference. Okay, so that's where we're looking with errata. If we trash this, I know that the stuff we're talking about doing next. Drake's Son is 56, 46. Guild Dwarves. I thought that might be a typo. I'll recheck the Guild Dwarves. I thought they were at 48. Yeah, they're at 48. 48.4. I don't know what. But yeah, Drake's Son, 55.9. I don't know why. Why am I getting a different number now? Oh, because that's just top. Yeah, let's get rid of that. This is small sample size. Okay, so there is not a public API, but that could be whipped up for a read-only kind of thing. 56. No, I was right. Okay. 56.1 and Gildorf's 46. Nope, yep, that is right in the general public. But they are both closer to parity in the top 150 over, 500 games or so each, so that's a good sign. Man, you know what? To be honest, I'm sorry, but I think I need to rerun these Deepwood Groks numbers because I think these are all top 150 numbers. So let's go ahead. Let's just do this. Didn't realize I had that on. So let's just run these again real quick to make sure that we have correct data. Start date. In the range. 01/01/2020 to 11/14/2024. Poor fungal doors. Well, you know what? I kind of wish, I have regrets with the fungal dwarves, but at the same time, if somebody's going to be a little weak, it's them because they're so suffocating otherwise. Okay, and I do believe they do better. We could check that. We could check them in top 150 games. I'm not sure, actually. I won't say anything until we look. Okay, so Deepwood Groks with everybody. It's pretty close there, 57.2%. All right, and then 11/15/2024. I like how I can just you guys will just watch me do work, and then I don't have to make an extra spreadsheet to format it all and write a blog to communicate it. You just watch me do the work. Really feels like a scam. June 15th, 2025. 06/15/2025. All right, so then this is calculating. 50. Okay. 50.6. And then since June 16th, all right, 2025 until the present. Let's see what we got. This is a much easier way to do it, though, because you guys can also help me out, like Tortugatron did with the Deepwood Groks date. And we've got 47. So this is claiming that they've gone down with the starting setup. Interesting. Top 150, not so much. That makes sense. It's definitely a tougher deck to play. Okay. So one more thing. Yeah, I said I was going to look at... Well, let's just look... I think we could just go in general here. Look at all the data. I could have just trashed that. And let's take a look. And we've just got an updated look at where the fungal dwarves are at. They're at 45. Overall, fungal dwarves, no, 44. And keeping an eye on Shimmer Sea Fae. 41. That's with everybody. And then I want to look at the filth, 55.5. And the Crimson Order, 54. They get more hate. Is that still true? Do people still... right, yeah, that makes sense, Little Nips. So that was about first second balance. All right, so that's overall numbers for these four. Let's see, is there anybody else? Let's just, since somebody mentioned the Breakers event fix, let's just check that out. Let's see, who else is way off? Drake's Son is too new. Okay, yeah, I think that's solid. Okay, so if we look at top 150, just to have that comparison. All right, we've got Funkeldorf's 45, so about the same. We've got Shimmer Sife 41.3, about the same. We've got the Filth, 55.4, about the same. Crimson Order, 50.8. Oh, look at that. Lower. Good bit lower in a lot of games, too. And Breakers are about the same. So there's that. We all love Cole. So are people hating on Cole? Is he a culprit of that high win percentage? New Fallen Kingdom, Little Nips, if you missed it. We've actually been too successful so far. We're not going to check top 150 for this number because it's going to be, very small. Okay, so that's where we're at. I'm sure that we're going to work on a Shimmer Sife change next. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, we've got some evidence right there for the Crimson Order non-haters. Breakers, we just have to decide. For Blast, we don't need to do like a special test thing. We could consider that. Crimson Order. Yeah, that's a data point kind of for the non-haters because they're lower in the range than most people, than any of the other ones we've changed. And like compared to Polar Dwarves, for example, in Groaks. And they are a lot more even in a lot of games. It's not a small sample size, over 2,000 games for the top 150 players. So that's that. Yeah, okay. Learning how to play against them is challenging. Yeah, I mean, that could be it. I don't know how we fix just that without nerfing them in competitive play too. But yeah, I mean that's a discussion. Filth, I don't know. They're just not hated, but they do seem about as strong as Drake's Son has been, close to it, or the new Fallen Kingdom. so, just not sure. Something to ruminate on. Okay. All right. Let's look up something else. Let's go a different direction. Let's just go look at players. So now you guys will see me try to fiddle with this and create data out of nothing. Let's actually go to our other spreadsheet. This is, because we're not going to do too much with this spreadsheet, but this is all the data since 2022. I think we officially launched like the full factions and everything in like August 2021, so it's the vast majority of games. So let's see what we need to do. This is a little tutorial if you've never worked with this stuff. Chat pause due to scroll. Oh, whoops. Who's played the most CO games? Oh my goodness. We can look into that, actually. We can look into each faction. That could be fun. Okay. So this is... These calls are going to take a little bit longer. Let's do... pivot table. Oh boy. So if you don't know, if you got a big list of data like this, pivot tables are super useful. They're very confusing. All right, first thing, we're gonna make player username the rows. Sing you a song. La 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 lava. All right. Oh, no. Oh, wait. That's actually some people's usernames, I see. Oh, my goodness. Okay. And columns. Should we put in wins and losses? Oh, sure. Why? I don't know. I don't know if that's worth it. Let's just put in... Yeah, who cares? Okay. Now, this is not going to be about wins and losses, so we're just going to put... how are we going to do just the count of it? Okay, we'll put this in. And you can see if you got your luck with if you went first. Oh wait, if we just put player username values down here without a column, that might do something for us. Yeah, there we go. All right, so then we can descend. Oh boy. All right, Jexic is still at the top. Let's zoom in a little bit. Wow. All right, here's our top 20 most games played. And the number one, top 19, I guess. All right, there we go. And Jexic is more than twice the number 20 player. I mean, this is, if you talk about a tier list, this is a tier. I mean, that's almost 1,000 game difference between number 3 and number 4. Woof. Okay, let's look for some people in the chat. Tops in season 8. We'll look overall and then we'll do some filtering. Exile. Exile, you are just outside the top 300 overall. Lips. Can we find you? Oh, come on now. Not there. Just here. It might be about 939 based on that. How can we search in... We want to search in just that. It's going to be a lot faster. Maybe we need to select the... Yeah, if we just go to the top, I think we'll get there. Okay, so Little Nips, 2,352. And yes, you are number 37, just inside the top 40. Tortugatron. Wait, we need to... Oh, actually, we don't need to search you. You're right there, 2590, top 30. Man, that's a lot of games. Who else has been in here? Well, if you're still in here and you want to know, oh, I see Panopticon is in here. Ugh. Here we go. Panopticon. 353. A reasonable number. That's probably closer to me. I think I'm in here as J.R. Threadless, right? Oof, under 300. Terrible. I believe Nick is the winner. Well, Nick is what? Marimbist. Let's take a look at Marimbist. And a lot of my games lose due to time because oh, come on. I need to maybe copy this data to another spreadsheet or something. Okay, select here. Find Marimbist. Alright, 312. So yeah, he's higher than me. I think probably Nikki, who works for another company now, but I think she was probably... Yeah, she actually has the most games in on staff or former staff. Okay, let me know if you're in the chat and you want to see your numbers. I'd have to scroll up pretty high there. But yeah, you guys want to see more recent? Yeah, how about just so far this season? So this season started November 18th. So we will filter start date. Oh, wrong one. After the date. 11, 18, 20, 25. Let's see who has played the most this season. If anybody is giving Jaxic a run for his money. We need to sort it. Definitely not in the lead. It's me. Oh man, Jaxic is way behind, but you know he's a marathoner, not a sprinter, so I'm sure he'll catch up. Dang. All right. Here are our current this season numbers. You might have to look fast to see yourself. Me is half my games. Well, me is about 5% of all games, so okay, let's trash that. 2.5% of all games. Actually, I do think it would be 5%. Because that's me's actual games, and then 25% of all their games ever that they've had. Okay, so I don't know. We're gonna waste time if we look at every single faction, and the player count for each faction. But what would be interesting? Maybe just the newer stuff. I had a month I had literally nothing to do. Yeah, I'll work on sending it out. It won't be immediate because I am recording this video and I will put it up. But yeah, I'll have to. I mean, I could send the raw data out, and somebody else could work on the pretty tables. Okay, so just the Drakesun Rebellion. Oof, 80 for Jaxic. Not the top. Definitely not the top. Courageous Syrian. Oh, like Syrian. Oh, that's an automated name. And Ray will up there. Interesting. All right. How about our? So it could be that these players are just better, and they are. And they are warping the data. That's why we have to wait. Okay, so Drakesun and Guild Dwarves. Oh, did that a little too fast. Okay. All right. Look at this. Totally different set of people. Totally different set of people. So yeah, I'm not going to. These players are having a disproportionate effect. Eventually, there will be, I would think, at least it's intuitive to think that there'll be a wider spread in the long run, but we will see. Okay. Let's take a look at the matchups table. So we're going to minimize this, and we're going to bring up just recent, and we're going to make a new pivot table, and we're going to see if we can achieve this. I'm actually not sure, or maybe if I made it before, I forget how to do it in numbers. I know I had to kind of write a complex formula in Google Sheets, and then they did some update and it stopped working. All right, so the rows are going to be faction. And the columns are going to be opponent. Okay. And I think there is a... Oh, let's get the data in first, then we can format it. Okay, I guess the values will be result. How is this done? Ah. Row total. No, that's not what we want. That's not going to help. Percent of column total? No. All right. Let's figure this out. I think I figured it out before. Not 100% sure, but let me know if you guys have any thoughts. Okay, so that's just the number of games. So if it has games against itself, that means those are for sure custom deck games. Let's see. Which we might exclude those, but let's just get the numbers right first. It should really be result. Count. Maybe that's it. Nope. Count unique. That's not going to be it either. That's going to be like 2. They're all going to say 2. Yeah. Oh, maybe it's... What is a var? I know this is really entertaining, isn't it, guys? Result of var. You know what? Maybe we need to also put result here. Oh, I replaced it. Here, let's delete that. Let's put opponent and then also put result in columns. I think that might do it. Right there. If we put it under, maybe it'll show it divided the right way. Okay. This might work. Let's go ahead and flip the sorting to match what we're used to seeing. And then let's put result in values. Okay, I think that's it. Now let's say percentage of a column total. No, parent. Oh, yeah, actually I think percent of row total might do it. Let's see. Hey, Eden. You missed a lot of discussion, which we've got there. Oh, that did not do it. Parent row total, maybe? I would have thought it was the opposite. But let's try it. Nope. Well, we're getting the right numbers. Do we need to see percentages? Breakers total. Base value, row total. We tried row total, we tried parent row total. Let's just try everything. Yeah, so Eden, as a review, this is kind of what we've discussed so far. We've looked at new stuff. We have looked at... Not that. I mean, there's no way it's a column one, but we'll try anyway. So we talked about new stuff. We looked at each of these factions before and after changes. This is Deepwood Groaks still. And we reviewed some factions that we've changed in the past, or for Fungal Dwarves, or ones that we're looking at updating. So, okay, nope, didn't do it. Man, I don't know if we will be able to get. Well, you know what we could do is we could just manufacture it, maybe. Does Joe know about how awful you are? Let's see. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to find this. I mean, I guess I'll do this just to give it a shot. Oh, that worked. Why did that work? Now, what is this number? I think that number is meaningless. Can we do a hide view? Huh, I don't know. In Google Sheets we can do a hide. I don't know if we can do it here, but it would certainly be helpful. Let's at least try to edit. I think somewhere there is an automatic format to squeeze things together and such. Oh, hide rows. Okay, yeah, there's a hide. Okay, so let's get rid of the totals for a start. so we can see a little bit more on one page. All right, let's. Oh, come on. Come on, you're kidding me. I gotta do these one at a time or what? Ah, now you just can't do it. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna copy all this to a new like raw table. Then we can mess with it a little more easily. We need to paste, but we need to make sure we're just, let's see if it works. Oh boy, seems like it's still gonna be referencing the old stuff. Oh no, it's raw. Okay, great. So now we can hide column. We can hide two columns at once. Yes. Hide two columns. Okay, great. So now we can go through and hide all these to make this a little more readable. So many factions. Too many. We gotta cut some. Who are we getting rid of? Polar dwarfs. Shadow elves. Shimmer sea face. Sky spear avians. Almost there. Boom, boom, boom. I guess I could just delete these. Oh well, too late. Hide 8 columns. Okay. Don't need this either. Alright, now it would be nice if I could automatically square these. Storm goblins, huh? Now, hang on. The Storm Goblins are Tom Vassel's favorite faction. Okay. Is there... I thought there was some kind of auto squeeze the rose thing. Organize. Format. Now, table. Resize column to fit content. Yes. All right, what is this? We don't need this row. Delete row. Man, I can't even believe that this is a stream right now. This is just this is just regular work. Okay. Let's just change this. Oh, forgot to hide column. Okay. DS, EC, FK, FD, GD, HE, EAV, MV, OD, PE, PD, NSG, SE, SH, SF, SA, SC, ST, SO, FL, F, shit, R, TO, VG, WF, that's it. All right. So yeah, we can go edit. Where was that just now? Table, resize columns, fit content. Boom! There we go. Whew, still long. Look at that. Okay. Wow, this is just a big old mess of numbers, isn't it? Wow. Wonder if we could do some color formatting. And taking a break from analyzing data to watch you analyze data. Fair trade, yeah. Okay, so I wonder if we could do some conditional formatting on the cells. Oh, that's not what we want to change. Conditional highlighting. I bet that's it. Okay, so let's say we're less than 30. Oh, come on. This better have kept everything. This better pop back up. Oh, okay. All right, let's save this. No, wait. No, no. Wait, okay. Dang it. I think it's all gone at least, right? Yeah, it's just the cloaks was the one that I had missed before. So that's good. We delete this row again. Let's save this. All right, one more time. BR, CG, CH, CL, CO, DG, DS, EC, FK, FD, GD, HE, IV, MV, OD, PE, PD, SG, SE, SH, SF, SA, SC, ST, SO, FL, FR, TO, VG, WF. Okay, save again. Alright, then let's do the, where was that? Table, resize columns, fit content. There we go. Save again. Okay. So let's try this conditional formatting. Okay, we can just maximize this window, by the way. All right, cell, fill, conditional highlighting, that's it. All right, so if we're less than 0.3, let's say, woof, there they are. Okay, so let's say under 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 60, 60 to 70. Yeah. Yeah, we'll go 10 each. So that's under 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, 50 to 60, 60 to 70, above 70. Yeah, that'll work. All right. Man, why is it? This is really... Oh, there we go. Okay, between... Now this I can just save and send out. 0.4. And that's going to be orange. Interesting. And between 0.4 and 0.5. It's a lot. Yellow. Let's add between 0.5 and 0.6. That's going to be that green. Okay. It's an interesting visualization. All right. Between 0.6 and 0.7. That's going to be teal. And then, of course, these are just the reverses of each other, but one more for greater than 0.7. All right. So, I wonder why... Oh, I see. So, some of these are new. Oh, and you know what? We can hide all the lost columns. Yeah, it doesn't make sense to have them both. That's why it's taking up so much space. All right, let's save. And then... Table, 70 columns. Okay. All right, that's looking good. Okay. So, the most unbalanced matchups. We really can't look too much at these because, look, the Gildorfs have played the High Elves 4 times. It's a very small number. Or, you know, it could be 8 times or something. But something that's pretty small. All right, well, look. Storm Goblins. If you hate the Storm Goblins, let's look in the other spreadsheet what the raw numbers of that are, if it's a significant amount. All right. Storm Goblins versus... Who was that? It was one of the Drake Son. Oh, right. We need to... change this to the base value. How many games do they got in here? $18 games, so it's a pretty small number. Pretty small number, but early signs are Drake's Son are good versus that. Storm Goblins have a bunch of unbalanced matchups, yeah. Yeah, good versus the Fungal Dwarfs. good versus the Phoenix Elves, bad versus the Polar Dwarves, bad versus the Spectral Conclave, bad versus the Filth, good versus the Vanguards, bad versus the Wayfarers. So mostly what they're good against is bad factions, weaker factions, traditionally weaker factions, except for Wayfarers. Yeah, let's see. What are some other ones? Who do we got? Yeah, so Fungal Dwarves are definitely drugged down by these matchups. Oof, those are real bad. Somebody was like Vanguards versus Spectral Conclave. Yeah, I mean, it's low. It's low. It's down there. Similar to their Isle of Ekid numbers, their Eternal Council numbers. I guess to me, the thing is always what's the most interesting result? What is the weaker, what is the strong faction that has a weak matchup versus a weak faction? Or, in the converse of that would be the same thing. So if you take, who are we looking at? If we take Crimson Order, we won't worry about the new guys because not enough games. But if we take the Crimson Order, what their worst matchup, and what you don't love to see is if it's just another really good faction. But it's going to be a small number of games versus Drake's Son. The yellows they're at least losing. Sand Goblins, Shimmer Sea. Oh, now that's interesting. They've got a losing record against. That's Shadow Elves, not Shimmer Sea Fae. Whoops. Spectral Conclave, Storm Goblins, Filth. They do not have an orange or a red matchup, though. How about the Filth? Do they have an orange or red matchup? They do not. None. So how about Drake's Son? The numbers will be tiny, but they don't have one either. So that's kind of the question. Like, if Crimson Order annoys you, what do you do about it? Well, probably just another good faction. Of course, the thing is, the vast majority of these are green and yellow, right? So if we look at Crimson Order here, they've got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of like 30 that are outside of the 40 to 60 range. So okay, Spectral Conclave. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, because they're certainly looking strong. Still a little early to do a change, but yeah, green, yellow, green, yellow, green, yellow. And they've got some good numbers versus who you would expect. Good numbers versus Mountain Vargath and Phoenix Elves. Good numbers versus Savannah Elves. Versus Storm Goblins. They're doing great. Yeah, and so what were you saying? Shimmer Sea Fae? I mean, if you look at the Shimmer Sea Fae overall, that probably is one of their better matchups. They don't have any matchups that are even green. Look at this. Do they have any? They have none. The Shimmer Sea Fae have no green or better. So, yeah, I mean, actually, Shimmer Sea Fae holds their own against Spectral Conclave, at least as much as they do anybody else. Certainly better than some of their other matchups. If you're a good Shimmer Sea Fae, then you could probably do whatever. But we look at the Spectral Conclave. How many do they have outside of green and yellow? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 out of 30, or 31, I guess. since they're one of them. And yeah, Crimson Order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, I mean, when you look at the table, overall, it's a whole lot of green and yellow, which is definitely a good sign. And we've got, a lot of the losses are right here. And that's still, undecided. But, you know, it's pretty interesting. It's probably about the same data as in May. I should have maybe done this only since May, so that it was all new data, but now I can't go back and redo all that work on the stream. That would really be too repetitive. Look at this. This is... Okay, so that's versus a new faction, but Shimmer Sea at 29. Nope, this Fungal Dwarfs have the two worst ones versus Spectral Conclave and Storm Goblins. Shimmer Sea versus Filth is right there as well. Those are our... There's not many, really, but those are our three matchups that are really, really bad, that are not, small sample size. So, yeah. So, I'll just post this right away, and maybe I will post the raw data, but I might take out the usernames because it's not exactly a privacy concern, but I just want to be more careful with that. So I'll post the raw data without usernames. You guys can dive into just all the faction stuff. But yeah, this is 2 hours of stats. Some of it talking about stats. Some of it fiddling with spreadsheets. I think this is some informative stuff. Also, I'll make 3 files. So I'll save this and put it out there. I'll just put it in the Discord. I will save this and put it out there, and then I'll save the raw data minus usernames. I would like to stream every week. I've never really tried to. I would try to maybe do it about 4 weeks in a row, just because Twitch would check some boxes and give me some advantages. And if I did it for a month. So I might try to do it next week. We should be coding the next faction. So I've been always doing that. So yeah, maybe I'll plan for that for next Thursday. You guys can get an early preview of that. Yeah, it's been fun, guys. Thanks a ton, everybody. Thanks everybody for hanging out and chatting. And I will plan on seeing you in a week.